Happy Valentine's Day. Would you be my Valentine? Sure you will. If I can give you some good picks, let's do it. Let's go. Good evening, last minute betting. Time to do it, powered by OddsJam. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Sad stuff coming out of the world of sports today. Shooting at the Kansas City parade. When is the nonsense ever going to stop, man? Terrible. Pray for all those people, man. That's just bad. OddsJam Partner Program available. Link below in the description. You got 50% revenue share. And I do want to point out that the picks that are on DubClub. Mike and I started this a week ago. We are up 5 units in our regular picks, and we are up 5 units in golf. So that's 10 units after a week. Not bad, right? Right, Jabari? And welcome,
not bad
Jabari.
at all.
No, not bad at all. Yes. Yes, Justin. Several children taken to Children's Hospital there. Over a dozen people that were injured. Don't know any more details than that right now. So not good. When you're celebrating a great victory like the Chiefs had, to end it with something in a parade like this that's just really sad. Come on. I mean, you should all be unified, and this bullshit shouldn't be happening in our country. Period. That's my opinion. All right. I'm an old guy. Sure, I got some old time values and what have you, but you know what? You just got to be. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to say anything because it'll probably be politically incorrect. But
I don't know all the details either, but that doesn't mean you can't. You can't comment about it. I agree with you. Yeah, it's just there's no place for anything like that anywhere, to be honest. Especially when it involves kids.
Right.
We did hear that one of them did pass away, unfortunately, and there are 10 others injured. So it's just, it's bigger than sports. It's bigger than sports. So
exactly, and to be hit with news like this, just terrible. I mean, you're celebrating. Let's face it, a great victory by the Chiefs. The Chiefs have moved themselves into whether you like it or not, Jabari, they've moved themselves into dynasty territory. I mean, they really have. And Patrick Mahomes, although I think somebody told me that they thought he was a top 5 quarterback of all time. I'm going to give him top 10. He's got to give me more stats before I put him in top 5. It won't be long before he's top 5, but the guy is simply amazing. And I know that you're probably a little bit upset since you're a Niners fan, but Brock Purdy has nothing to be ashamed of. Okay?
Played a great game.
He played a great game. The pressure got to him. I do question Kyle Shanahan a little bit for, you're in overtime. Why not just go for it on 4th down? I mean, why kick the field goal there? You're opening up the door for the Chiefs to put the ball in the end zone. The 4th down call, where Mahomes got the first down, was a brilliant call. a brilliant call. The 49ers defense was not looking for that play at all. And Spagnuolo, who just signed an extension with the Chiefs, did a fantastic job on the other side when they finally decided to bring the pressure. But now, after saying all this, Jabari, why'd they quit running the football?
The Niners?
Yeah, the McCaffrey had 22 carries, but that's including overtime. I wanted 25 carries from Christian McCaffrey in regulation. If I'm a Niners fan, that is the formula. I'm going to go back to this formula that the St. Louis Rams have on the greatest show on turf. When Marshall had 25 carries or more, their record was unbelievable. And you had an opportunity to do that, and they got away from it. And I question Kyle Shanahan. I hate to do it. I think he's a great coach, but I question him.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember that overtime, he had some questionable calls in offensive play calls in that overtime. So
Right.
he did run the ball when it counted the most. He did run the ball. There were a couple of times Brock Purdy could have thrown a touchdown and he just overthrew them. There were a couple of times, and it
Yeah.
reminded me of Jimmy G when Jimmy G overthrew Emmanuel Sanders a couple of times for some touchdowns in the bowl. And I was telling my friends while we were watching the game, I said, this just feels like a Kansas City type game. They're coming from behind, quote unquote underdogs.
Yeah.
It just is not going to end well. And it didn't. So, for me, I I don't know what to say. They ran the ball. If you actually look on the last offensive Niners play, CMC was wide open on the left, and Brock overthrew a touchdown to the right. Now I will say this: the Niners offensive line has been great throughout the year, but this
Right.
game they stunk. Trent Williams was getting cooked. Trent McDuffie called his card multiple times that game and was shedding blocks, and that's a cornerback, and that's just
Right.
unacceptable if you're coming from Trent Williams, bro. There was a bunch of missed blocks, and the coverage was set perfect, but people were just blowing blocks, and you can't do that in the chip. You can't do that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, Trent Williams had a couple penalties too that were, just,
Crucial penalties.
yeah, very crucial penalties. Agree with you 100%. And he is, I mean, he's probably, I mean, what do you think?
He's
His post
top
career?
3 left tackle of all time in football, but
Exactly.
he
He's,
had a terrible game.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Absolutely. Um, sure, Justin, give us your NBA parlay, and Jabari will critique it here in a second. Uh, so, do you think they should have went for it on fourth down?
No.
You think kicking the field goal in overtime is the
Yeah.
right thing to do?
Because you're putting it in your defense's hands, which has been your go-to all year. Like we're talking about, and I know this is a lot to hear after the fact, but we're talking about 2 top 5 defenses
Yeah,
on the year.
yeah,
Kansas City defensive efficiency was actually pretty good this year, and that's partly why they won a chip this year because they didn't limit. They didn't. It's like KD when he was on the Warriors. You're not going to be able to limit everybody. Somebody's going to have a great game. But if you can limit everybody else, who cares? You're going to win a chip. And that's exactly what happened. Debo didn't really do anything. George
Well,
Kittle was non-existent. Brandon Ayuk didn't have more than 36 yards. We didn't really do anything a lot offensively. It was a very defensive Super Bowl until fourth and overtime.
that hamstring injury for Debo is, that's been kind of lingering around.
And then
Okay.
Drake Greenlaw tears his Achilles. I just feel so bad for him.
Oh my goodness! Just
I really
going
felt
out on the
bad for
field.
him.
That was an Achilles. I did not hear
Yeah,
that. It was an Achilles.
they were saying it was a lower leg injury, but you
Right.
could tell like by the way he was holding, like he could like put some pressure, like even if it's an Achilles or an ACL, either one, he just I felt so bad for him because I'm like, you worked so hard to get here all this year. You've been a great tandem linebacker with you and Fred. And Fred, was talking about how he almost cried in the middle of the game because it really hurt his soul that Dre wasn't gonna be there, so on and so forth. So I really felt bad. I did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No two ways about it. And what is up with the Achilles injuries in the NFL? And does it have something to do with the turf that they're playing on? I mean, you look at the Aaron Rodgers. Who else had an Achilles? Was Cousins an Achilles?
Aaron Rodgers, the guy that played for the Dolphins, he was a pass rusher.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
tore his Achilles, fresh off the bone. He tore his off rookie year, and then I don't want to say Shaq Barrett. There's somebody else. I think it might be Shaq Mason. Somebody else for the Dolphins, I think also tore their Achilles, but it's been a lot of Achilles tears lately, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. So
Man, I know. Just it just blows my mind. Yeah, Cousins had an Achilles too. I thought he did.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, J.K. Dobbins.
Wow.
Tre'Davious White, the cornerback for the Bills. So, wow. And our Achilles, I mean,
Cam Akers. Cam Akers tore his.
Forgot about him.
That's what ended his season with the Vikings. He tore it. Geez, yeah, it actually has been a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just I'm just curious. Is this? And a lot of these are they're non-contact injuries. And that's what happens with an Achilles. But non-contact injuries. All right, very quickly. Eric Gordon under 19.5 PRA, Aaron Holiday under 10.5 points, and Brandon Miller over 21.5 points and assists. Thoughts?
Okay, let me read that.
I'll leave it up here.
No, you're okay. So Eric Gordon under 19.5, Aaron Holiday 10.5, Brandon Miller 21.5. Okay. Brandon, I like. Eric Gordon, I have to see who they're playing again. I don't know who the Suns are playing. The Pistons, I would be a little careful on that because Eric Gordon tends to play a lot when they're playing bad teams. And I could easily see them sitting a lot of the stars. If Bradley Beal isn't going to be there, Eric Gordon gets more playing time, him and Grayson Allen both. And Bradley Beal is already out for the game, so he's going to get a good bit of playing time. Aaron Holiday for the Nuggets. Not John Morant, no Jamal Murray. Yeah, you should be okay with Aaron. The only one that really scares me is Eric. You should be a little hesitant with that one. Don't go too heavy on that one because Eric should see a lot of playing time against Detroit, who's garbage. So
okay. So I mean, I gotta tell you, I just knew the Chiefs were going to win that Super Bowl, man. I'm sorry, I just knew it.
I had Chiefs 1.5. So you're not the only one.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is just. How do you bet against him?
You can't at this point.
I mean, it's absolutely insane, and he is so cool on the field. And I got to be honest with you, I like the guy. I can't help it. I like the way he carries himself on the field and off the field. I really like him a lot. Now, there's a guy, I've mentioned this a couple of times now, but I want to mention it again. Leo Chenal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw this or not, but 6 tackles, 1 stuff, 1 forced fumble, and of course, probably the play of the Super Bowl, a blocked kick. That's a hell of a game by number 54 for KC. That's a hell of a game. Difference.
Yeah.
That difference in the game. We don't go to overtime. It doesn't happen. Niners probably win in regulation. Either that or, the Chiefs are desperate and more
And have to
desperate,
go for a touchdown.
right, and have to go for a touchdown.
But that block PAT, bro, really just I knew it. After that happened, I knew. I was like, this just smells like an Andy Reid special.
Oh God, you gotta love Andy Reid. You see him on top of Chris Jones on the field.
Yeah, it was a little suspect, but I saw it.
Oh, that was great, man. You know what? He's a player's coach. Uh, and I love the meme where Kelsey's over, uh, yelling at Reeves, and the meme that came out. You're embarrassing me in front of my girlfriend.
That was funny.
Very funny. So I like some of that stuff. Anyway, prayers going out to the people that have been hurt in this tragedy in Kansas City during the Chiefs parade. I hated that happened. All right, so now we're on the hardwood, man. That's what's happening right now. Indoor games, college hoops, NBA, full schedule in the NBA tonight. I want you to know Jokic, now his PRA is up to 52 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That was not going to stay down for very long. The books really look like they're trying to adjust on him. They can't figure out what to do with Luka. Luka's been over his PRA quite a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're looking, I just want to go through a little bit here. I want to have a little more discussion on the NBA as I go through here. Yeah, I know we talked about Cleveland last week. Mike's been hot on the Knicks. And, OKC, and of course, you've been hot on the Clippers too. I got a question about a couple of teams that I really think they're there. One of them's the Knicks. One of them is the Pelicans, because the Pelicans right now, Jabari, are tied with Phoenix at 32 and 22, 6 games out of first place, with the 5th and 6th spot, but identical records. What do you think about this Pelicans team? I mean, are they really a team that could be dangerous in the playoffs?
In my personal opinion, they're a regular season team.
Okay.
I just don't think they have the playoff experience. And when I say playoff experience, I don't mean some of them playing in playoff games and some of them not. I mean playing as a team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Usually when they get to the playoffs, somebody's hurt. BI's hurt, Zion's hurt, or a combination of such. Then those two are your team. Those two are your team. So when that happens, it is it's a little bit there. Now, I don't really necessarily consider them contenders, but I would like to say that the West is definitely Wild Wild West this year. There's a lot of good teams. There's a lot of, great teams. It's still better than the East to me. There was a time where the East was resurging back up, but now, there's only 3 clear-cut favorites in the East, and that's Milwaukee, Cleveland, and Boston to me at this point. With no Joel, they're not a favorite to me. But the West, you have about 6 teams that could really almost come out and win a chip.
Well, now that if you say 6, are you taking that all the way down to New Orleans, or are you going below New Orleans and putting Dallas in that?
No, I'm not putting Dallas in that. Okay. Although they look great with Daniel Gafford. I will say that they look very good with Daniel Gafford. I think out of anybody, if the Lakers can get their act together, get some shooting, they can do it with this team with Spencer Dinwiddie. If the Kings could get their act together, get some defense instead of letting everybody run the floor on them, they could do it. New Orleans just needs to stay healthy. As As long as they stay healthy, they're a young defensive group. Everybody else above that, even if we want to say 5 teams, Phoenix can do it. Bradley Beal, KD, D-Book. Okay. Denver, returning champs.
Right.
Clippers, playing great basketball. OKC, young, talented, very good defensively. Minnesota, astonishing. So, even if we take that, I still have somebody out of the West coming and winning a championship this year over Boston.
Right. Okay. OKC has just shocked the hell out of me. And I got to be honest with you. Their record, they're 21. Let's just take a look at this. OKC's 21-6 at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers are 20-6 at home. Here's the other two teams that over 20 wins at home. Boston and Milwaukee. Boston's 25-3. Milwaukee's 23-7. Your top 4 teams at home court advantage is going to be huge for you. And that's big. And then, Minnesota's right behind there at 19-5. They also have the same amount of wins on the road. That's the thing about the T-Wolves. They're dangerous wherever they play. Okay. They're probably the most consistent between home and road as any team in the NBA, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So they're definitely a team to watch out for. When I look at the top 10 in the East, we've got 2 teams under 500 at 9th and 10th in the Bulls and the Hawks. When I look at the top 10 in the West, there is not anybody below 500 in the top 10. Mm-hmm. Golden State has the worst record at 26-25. You are absolutely right. This is a stacked conference. And I want you to think about this. If you go from the Lakers all the way up to Minnesota, there's only 9 games in the win column separating them. Okay. And that's from the 9th place team in the conference. So, you got a bunch there's 8 teams with 30 or more wins
in the West.
In the West. That's
right.
That's big. That's very big. And I agree with you. The thing that I worry about is, are they going to beat the hell out of each other before they get to the finals?
Yeah, but by the time they get to the finals, they'll already be battle tested, in my opinion. Like they'll pretty much already be there to where they can, kind of put up a fight with no matter who it is. Because really, at this point, in my opinion, everybody just playing ball to play Boston. Think Boston goes back to the finals. Like I said again, if Boston doesn't win a chip this year, then they're never going to do it. They'll be overrated to me as long as they live. But everybody's just going to go play Boston. That's it.
Now, I got to show you something here because I really don't ever look at this, but you're on here and you've got a lot of expertise in the NBA. No 2 ways about it. 6th man of the year. This is what the odds are right now for these guys. Malik Monk, number 1 at -110. I really did not realize that Tim Hardaway, first of all, Tim Hardaway Jr., I did not ever think was going to be a solid NBA player. I didn't like him in college. But you know what? He's become a solid NBA player. I'm actually shocked at how good he is become. And then there's a lot of difference after the top 2. Obviously, Monk is see Hardaway taking that 6th man of the year award.
Yeah, it would take something. I mean, technically, I feel like Tim Hardaway should win it, in my personal opinion, because his team has the better record. Or not his team has the better record. They are the better team in my eyes.
Okay,
is what I should say. Not they have the better record, but his odds only really jumped like that after he put up that 36-point game against Orlando at home. When he put up that 36-point game, the odds for that jump real high. Now, Malik Monk still has a great case for 6 man of the year because he's having a career year. In my opinion, he definitely having a career year, but the way that they're sliding is just, I could see Tim Hardaway, if he just keeps up with this kind of production after the All-Star break, he takes the trophy home. But
okay, all right, I like that. Now I'm going to ask you another question. Worth putting a little sprinkle on Hardaway to win 6 man of the year? I think it is.
yeah,
Okay.
you're basically betting on Sacramento to continue sliding, though.
Right. Agreed with you there. Defensive. These are areas that I just don't look at. Defensive player of the year. It's like hands down Gobert.
It's Rudy all day. He's improved their defensive rating to first in the span of 2 years. So it's hands down Rudy.
That is amazing to me. That's amazing.
Every team he's been on, no team he's been on, I think they said in the last 9 years, any teams that he's been on, they've never been higher than 13th in defensive rating.
Okay. I'm going to pull another one up.
Wembanyama, hands down.
Wemby all the way. So there's no value on that. I mean, do we still break this stuff down to divisions anymore? Does anybody even?
We do. You can go to Southeast, and then we can say who's gonna win. I think what is Southeast? I think that's the Heat. Yeah. The Heat win that division easy.
Okay.
I think if you were to parlay these, you would go Heat. I'm pretty sure the odds for Boston at this point are probably way too high. Cleveland's probably going to win Central. Northwest, I think Minnesota wins Northwest. If you see Northwest, let's see what the odds are there. I think Minnesota wins Northwest. And you can still get it at plus odds.
Yes.
And that's definitely worth a sprinkle in my eyes.
Whoops. Did I already do this one? Oh, there we go. Pelicans, Southwest. And what division are the Celts in?
Atlantic. It's Atlantic. But if it's not on there, I wouldn't even stress about it too much because the odds for those are probably way. Yeah, they're minus 50,000 on Bovada. So it's really not even nobody's even close to even winning that division. So it's no reason.
Jokic still MVP, but I got to tell you, Shy, come on. He's got a shot at it, man.
He does. I mean, I don't think he wins it.
Really? You think it's Jokic again?
Yeah, because it's more so turned into a center award. I say in the last 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. Hold on, I'd be willing to check my math, but I would say probably the last 5 out of 6 have been centers. Or forwards. Yeah, so it's been Giannis twice, Jokic twice, and Embiid. Other than that, we haven't seen another guard win it. So we had Steph twice, Russ once, James Harden once. After that, it's been strictly big men in the last 5 years. So I think Jokic probably wins another one. It would be great if Shai could get one. I feel like he deserves it. But,
Right. Now, let's take a look at this. Eastern Conference winner, you could still, right now, can get the Celtics at plus money.
Oh, I'm taking that right now on Bovada as we speak.
That'd be worth a sprinkle for sure. Western Conference winner, Nuggets, still the fave. The T-Wolves are, oh, my God. Now, I don't know, man. that conference is going to be so tough. I can't wait for the playoffs. I think that is going to be. I think we're going to see some great series all the way through.
I think so too.
Yeah, I really do. I'm very excited about the NBA playoffs for the first time, really, in a long time. Uh, I'm looking for a little competition like they got in the NHL, where you have some competitiveness in those series. So I'm looking for that. But man, the T Wolves at plus 1,000 on Bet Rivers. Jabari, would you jump on that?
I would. You said
Hell
it's
yeah.
plus what?
1,000
For who?
for the T Wolves to come out of the West.
Oh, so we're talking Western Conference winner.
Western Conference winner.
When I first heard it, it sounded good, but they really, the only thing they need to prove to me is they need to play Denver again, and they need to play the Clippers again. By the time they play them again, I think we'll know. I think they got a great chance to come out the West.
Well, here's the thing. What you could sprinkle on the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Suns, the T-Wolves, and the Thunder. You could put a couple bucks on each one of them and come out okay in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
definitely at least break even, if not slightly profit.
Right. And if one of these, if the Suns or the T-Wolves or the Thunder go, because the Thunder's also plus 1,000 on Bet Rivers. But you could pick up the Suns at plus 775 on ESPN Bet.
Yeah, but I wouldn't really. Like I said, it's staying healthy. Like, it's just they're old. They got a big three, but they're old and just they even almost lost that game last night to what did they play last night? Who did they play? It's
I have to go look.
It's Sacramento. And Sacramento's been sliding lately, but they almost gave that game up. De'Aaron came out and played a great game, but it is what it is. I don't think they come out of the Western Conference. They do great, but they'll probably win a chip if they do. But I don't think they get out of Western Conference Finals. Sorry.
All right, I got you. All right, let me turn on the recommended filters here and see if I can get some positive EV plays going. We're refreshing right now. I love it when we refresh. There's nothing like refreshing. It makes me feel refreshed. I'll tell you that right now. When I refresh, and there we go. I'm actually going to put this in focus mode right now. Maybe. Jokic under 29.5 points. That is on Bovada and Bodog. This is for you, Jabari. You like that play or not? Plus 115.
No.
Under you don't.
Because no Jamal Murray tonight. So he might just have to put up 30 himself.
Okay. All right. Brandon Ingram under 6.5 assists.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's add that. Evan Mobley over 2.5 assists.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good play.
I take the Mobley well before I take the BI.
Hang on, because we're having a little problems here going fast. There was a Malik Monk play down here too. Over 3.5 rebounds
against Denver. No, thank you.
Okay. All right. Jalen Johnson over 3.5 assists.
Yes.
All right.
Anything Jalen Johnson tonight should go in your favor. Let's hope so. Okay. There's no Capella, no Onyeka. He's basically the de facto center, or Bruno, I think his name is the center.
Okay. There was a Halliburton play here. Let me wait for it to pop back up. Where is it? It was there. It might be gone now. Maxey over 3.5 rebounds.
No.
Okay. No.
What's his under 3.5 rebounds?
I don't know.
Were you just on it?
Yeah, I passed it up.
That's fine.
We have Mobley. I forgot to put that one in. Let's do that real quick. It looks like Curry under 38.5 PRA.
Were they playing the Clippers? No, thank you. They're playing the Clippers. No, thank you.
Adebayo under 11.5 rebounds.
Yeah.
How do you say? Is it Avdija? Is that how you say his name?
Advia?
Advia. Thank you.
Denny?
Yeah, Denny.
You could just call him Denny.
Yeah. That's who I'm talking about. I've been having problems with his name. Sometimes that happens. Yeah. There he is right there. Under 15.5 player points.
No, because they might get blown out, which will go in your favor, but he might play a lot of minutes because of the blowout.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Sabonis. This is the other one I saw.
Over
19.5 points.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. Time's up.
Both times he actually has not been over 19 at all. He's finished at 17 and 17. Now, the first time they played, it was no Jamal Murray. So this is akin to this similar circumstance, but he didn't put up 20 then. So I would have to lean towards the no.
Okay. A Porzingis under on his PRA, 32.
No, thank you. Not at all. No Jaylen Brown tonight. Don't even touch that.
Okay. All right. Brandon Ingram, we already hit that under an assist. Conchar over 5.5 rebounds.
You said John Conchar? No. Houston's pretty good at rebounding.
And Donovan Mitchell under 27.5 against the Bulls.
No, thank you.
Okay. Banchero under 6.5 rebounds.
Yes.
Okay. And I have to, I'm going to stop here and go get out of this and stop sharing my screen. One thing I do want to say right now, this Kobe White kid, I really like this guy, man.
He's always had talent. Even coming out of college, Kobe was a great player, but he played for UNC when your favorite coach is there. UNC glasses, white hair, old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was there. He was good in college, but he's just been sitting behind Zach LaVine. They just kind of kept him on the bench, and I thought he's always had talent, but now they're starting to see, okay, no, we got a real star coming off the bench. And
I said this with Kia the other day. I'm going to say it again. He reminds me of an ABA player, man. That hair, I love it. That's the old ABA. That's the 70s, man. When he's flying down the court like that, I friggin' love it. And by the way, I was a big fan of the ABA back in the day because from St. Louis originally, we had the Spirits of St. Louis. As a matter of fact, there were 4 ABA teams that got merged with the NBA when the Spirits were actually considered they were actually considered to be going. And the NBA, the owners made a deal with the NBA, the owners of the Spirits, and said that they would take whatever it is, 30th, 28th, I can't remember at the time, of the TV contract in perpetuity. They've been paying that out for years.
They still paying it out now?
No, I think they negotiated something and got out of it.
Okay.
Bancaro under 6.5 assists. What do you
No,
think?
thank you.
Okay.
I
All right.
think he actually goes over 6.5 today, in my personal opinion.
Okay. All right. Anything on the NHL front?
Not really. I mean, we're done with All-Star break, so we're halfway done with the NHL season, right? So we're gonna be coming into that. There's gonna be a lot of NHL bets coming over in the next 2-3 days because NBA is gonna be on All-Star break. So
Right.
we're gonna be having a week of no NBA, pretty
Right.
much 7
Right.
straight days, no NBA. So it'll be straight in NHL.
And how you feeling about college basketball? Anybody tripping your trigger that UConn, can they go back to back? What do you think?
No, I don't think they go back to back, but some teams that have kind of impressed me lately. I don't even. I almost said the wrong team. Marquette.
Oh yeah.
Marquette's kind of impressed me lately, and they've definitely come up in the rankings. I watched them play Butler last night. They've definitely come up in the rankings. You know, I would like for my UH team to really start putting some foot on the gas, but I'm starting to see that, maybe we can't really hang with some of this Big 12 competition. But
they moved up. They moved up to 3.
Yeah, we did, but like I said, we play most of our Big 12 competition at the end of the season. So we're gonna have Ohio State, I think it is. We're gonna have Baylor, OU, and Kansas. Those are like 5 of our last 7 games, or 4 of our last 6 games of the season. So we're really gonna see. Yeah, we play UT again, Iowa State, Baylor, Cincy, Oklahoma, UCF, Kansas, in that order. By that time, we'll be in March Madness. So if we can clear that, say 4-3, 5-2, I feel good about us going into the tournament this year.
Well, I've got to tell you something. When I was out in Vegas, I put $100 on Arizona to win it all. It was plus 1,600, and they are now number 5. Watch out for the Wildcats, because that's who I'm rooting for, man. That's money. Money. All right, Jabari, thank you very much for joining us here. Great show. Lots of great information. Sorry about your Niners. Shit happens. What can I say?
It happens, man.
See y'all later. Shanahan 0-3 in Super Bowls.
0-2 against Andy.